Hi, my name is Micah and I'll be sharing with you a new take on a holiday tradition. Today we'll be making bread pudding with a fun gingerbread twist. As today's recipe doesn't require a lot of sugar, I'll be using Hawaiian bread today to add to the sweetness of the recipe. So we'll be cutting this bread into 1-inch cubes, and it should make around 7 cups, but we're just going to set this aside for now as we move on to the mix. So normally bread pudding doesn't require to use ground ginger, but to add that extra holiday flavor, we'll be using a tablespoon and a half of ground ginger. Now we'll be adding a teaspoon and a half of ground cloves. Now we'll be adding a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1.5 cups of coconut milk. Today we'll be using 3/4 cup of almond milk. Now, for those of you that have a lactose allergy, this is perfect, but you can also use any other type of milk, but I prefer using almond milk because it has a nuttier flavor. Now we'll be using 3/4 cup of maple syrup. Now we're going to add in 6 eggs that we've set aside from earlier. And a pinch of salt. Now we'll be adding 1/2 cup of pecans. To finish things off, we're going to be adding a box of raisins. Now that we've completed our mixture, we're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Now that that's completed, we're going to whisk everything together. Now that we've completed whisking, we're going to fold in the bread. When you're folding in the bread, you want to make sure not to squish anything. Now continue to fold in the mixture until the bread is well coated. Now that this is complete, you're going to take your baking dish and spray it with a bit of Pam. Now we're going to add our mixture into the dish. Now we're going to place this into the oven for 30 minutes or until golden brown. Now that the bread pudding is in the oven, we're going to move on to our coconut glaze. You're going to take 1 1/3 cup of confectioner sugar and the remaining coconut milk, which should be around 1/4 cup. So I'm going to be adding the coconut milk in slowly until I've reached the consistency that I like. Once you've added in the 1/4 cup, you can continue to add in a tablespoon at a time until desired thinness or consistency is reached. Now that our glaze is done, I've set it aside in a separate bowl, and now it's time to check on the bread pudding. Now that your bread pudding is out of the oven, you're going to let it cool for a few minutes to set, and then you're ready to serve. Now, from my house to yours, have a happy homemade holiday.